Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, as you can see in the description, we are doing a very interesting new marathon by Gary. Gary, thank you so much for choosing these songs and also for getting in touch with me. And I just wanted to talk about real quick about a misunderstanding that I guess a lot of people think that you can only request a certain amount on a monthly basis. I think that was set up during a time where we just didn't have enough time, to do these. So just to let you guys know, if you can request as much as you want. There's no real limit, but only the stuff that I do by myself, because I just happen to have more time than Alexia, like I don't have to do the whole commute and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. And also, we had like a back and forth, Gary and I, because he did request a song that I had already reacted to. And actually, I reacted to that song with Alexia, and it's just such a good reaction. And it's a great tune. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to mention it here. It's called In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, the version live at Fillmore East from 1971. If you want to watch that, just type it in on the channel and you'll be able to see it. And it's about two years ago, or maybe a bit longer. So just wanting to let you guys know. And if that happens, usually if I've done something, I'll let you guys know and then you can change your song. Okay. So after that, so Gary sent me his list. And here it is. This is the final one. Let's see. And yeah. So we settled. We were going to do some King Crimson, but King Crimson gets blocked, unfortunately. So we settled for Rubber Bullets by 10cc. And here's the last email pretty much. So I'm going to read that for you. It says here, give me a second. Okay, so there's the recap, because we had a back and forth. So to make it easier on you, the pre-marathon recap read is here. So we're going to do one of two in this marathons are from the albums I voted for in the monthly poll that didn't make the cut. So you get to hear what you missed and maybe get around to it eventually. Yeah. The first one is Oh Atlanta by Little Feat, the live version from Waiting for Columbus. All right, so that's very interesting. Do I have that here? I'll check in a second, because I do need to yeah, I think I have the wrong. Thanks. That's why I love these, these intros, because it really shows, because I was going to do the studio version. Okay. Then yes, our song from 90125. It says you've already done so much from this album, but I don't believe you've gotten around to my absolute favorite from the LP Celebration, the magic and power of music itself. So I actually looked this up, and we haven't done this. I looked it up on the channel. It says great for listening while driving, but you're likely to exceed the speed limit. Okay. And of course, I mean, when I drive and listen to music, I try to keep it, under the excess. And then this one here. So how long are we into the video? Okay. So literally after about 3 minutes, you can actually curse. This is hilarious. I don't know why. But it says here, when shit hits the fan, Sunset Boulevard, Le Fil Internazionale by Todd Rundgren, from A Wizard, A True Star, another monthly poll nominee. I voted for that. Missed Out, another you've got to get to at some point. Wow, I can't believe that you're missing it. It is what it is, but I know how it works. When we do these polls, they're just insane. I don't even know how people can vote, because everything is like perfect. Everything is good. We just did Santana, and it had a tie with The Police. So obviously we're going to do both. So there you go. So it's really good to be a member on Patreon, because it's a lot of content. And then this is a special one, especially for me, because I'm a fan. Silkroad by Matteo Mancuso from the Journey album, Breathtaking Virtuoso, Maturing Before Our Ears. I think this guy's already so ahead of everybody that he can only like become like, you can't get better than that. I mean, literally, Steve Vai and Al Di Meola and people who are like already at a god level, they're like, whoa, where did this kid come from? And has an amazing style. He plays like this with his fingers and doesn't use a pick. He tried to use a pick because pretty much Rick Beato like made him, and he's like, I can't play. It's hilarious. I love it, because it's like, it's just, he's so original and he plays everything. I've seen him play Holdsworth. I've seen him play Guthrie. Greg Howe, just the most difficult stuff he plays, like literally with a smile on his face. And this one here, I really love. This is the one that we changed from the first and King Crimson, called Rubber Bullets by 10cc from their self-titled debut. Even here at the beginning, they showed all the elements that would lead up to the original soundtrack masterpiece that you and Alexa enjoyed so much. Man, that album is so amazing still. I can't get enough of 10cc. So much talent and so much fun. So there we go, the intro. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing this marathon. And yes, let me just change the song of Little Feat and I'll be right back with you. All right, so here we go. So that would have been so disappointing to hear the wrong version, but sometimes it has happened, maybe like 5 times, that I've done the wrong version or just the wrong song. But I usually compensate you guys with, I just redo the video like that video that I messed up on. But yeah, so here we have Waiting for Columbus live version, and so let's start with Little Feat. That's a band we've seen live. Amazing, just amazing performance. Super long, about 2.5 hours. Even though Dream Theater outplayed them, they played around 3 hours and 10 minutes or something. The show, the 40th anniversary. Oh my lord, you have to see Dream Theater live if you can see them on this tour, the 40th anniversary. Wow, you won't be disappointed. Yes, James Labrie is struggling a little bit with the vocals. He just can't, like the older songs, from the 90s, he just can't hit those the same way. But hey, you have to give it to the man. He has been working 40 years for this band, singing these songs and that kind of pitch and high notes. And, sooner or later, your voice is going to, stop working the way it has been. So, that was the only thing. But I didn't even notice. I was having so much fun with just the music and just being there with them in the same room, and with Mike Portnoy being back in the band. So, hey, check him out. But yeah, Little Feat, they were amazing. There were so many musicians on stage, like 3 guitar players, 2 drummers. It was just ridiculous. So that's, the live setting. So here we go for Waiting for Columbus, the live version of Oh Atlanta. Here we go. Let's check it out. Wow. So good. So they literally sound like this sounded like a studio version. I mean, this band is so tight that you don't even realize. Like, I was completely for a minute there. I was like, wow, you know, and then when the applause comes in, I was like, oh my God, this was live. I mean, I knew, but you just forget. It's so well played. Everybody is so in tune and so connected. And I love the slide guitar with the electric guitar. The bass was beautiful. And this singer, I don't know if the singer that we saw, because we saw them in 2023, I think 2023. So I would have to check here, but Los Angeles, I didn't know they were from LA, and because it is Southern rock, you know, it's here under Southern rock, swamp rock, swamp. And I mean, they've been active forever. I mean, look at this, 1969. And they're still around, you know. That's amazing. That's if we would still have Zeppelin, you know, Led Zeppelin, and if we would always have had them, it wouldn't have been amazing. There's so many bands that I wish were still around. Supertramp, you know, just bands that just stopped, you know, maybe like even in the later 80s, they just disappeared, or they just released an album and that was it. You know, that's just a gift to us that this band has been around so long, you know, and what a sound. It's just fun, you know, this music is like just party music, and it just lifts you up, you know, you put it on, you instantly get in a better mood. It's something really, really important that music does, you know. And of course, yes, it reminds me, of course, of bands like the Doobies, you know, the earlier Doobies, the Doobie Brothers, like their first iteration, and then but just like Southern rock has such a wonderful positivity to it, you know. They're always it just sounds that they're all in a good mood. They're all playing really, you know, happy and joyful music, you know, and it just crosses over so well. It's really like that Southern hospitality, but served in music, you know. It's just really nice when you go to a, you know, little diner, and people are really nice. I mean, we lived in Florida, you know, and people are just polite, you know. And in some countries or other states, you don't get that, unfortunately. So yeah, but just musically, these guys are just off the charts good, you know. Everything just sounds so good. Like literally, I forgot that it was live. But because sometimes, yes, live can be a little bit different, and you know, it's challenging, you know, to play what you have created on your on the original album, and sometimes it's hard to recreate, you know, and get that vibe over. But very, very cool. So yeah, there's been a lot of members. And there's still a lot of members, past and present, and just what a band. And I didn't know they were Warner Brothers. Hey, good. Warner Brothers is always cool because, you know, they are the ones who pretty much don't. It's not that they don't care, but they know, you know, these reaction videos, they actually make us money. So hey, you know, let them do their thing. And then there's other videos, you know, other companies, they just don't want it. They don't want it to happen. So yeah, this was just a lot of fun. Thank you again for, you know, requesting a little feat. And yeah, so now to Yes, you know, I mean, Yes is always so fun to do, and I really want to do this song here. I left it up here. Hearts. I want to do Hearts with Alexa from the same album of that I'm gonna do right now, Our Song, but I want to do it with her, and I want to hear her reaction. Just a great song, just a very proggy, and just the Yes that she loves, but maybe in, you know, more 80s, and then she hasn't heard that one. So, but here we go with Our Song from the what I call the 90125 album, because it's literally, you know, based on the whatever the code was for that recording or something. Somebody, I think I read on Wikipedia that it was just they didn't know what to name it, and they just named it after the code or something, the barcode or something. But here we go with Our Song by Yes. Here, let's check it out. Ridiculous. Okay. Okay, there's something about this album that I really like because it's just like it almost is like a Yes version of what I saw, like John Anderson and the Band Geeks, they were just so good on like live, and it sounded like, and people have told us, like these guys are not messing around. It sounds literally like the original Yes lineup, and some people even said they sounded better, which is obviously, I can't really, I'm not gonna say that because I never saw Yes in their prime, when they were 20, 25-year olds, and so I can't really comment on that, but that they just sound so good. And and I love this style. I love this 80s version of Yes. And don't get me wrong, I love the 70s stuff, the long proggy, songs. But this song, I mean, this song, this album, everything I've heard on this album is like amazing. The bass here, the guitar is a little bit heavier. It just sounds a little bit more, because I grew up with like progressive metal. So it sounds a little bit more, not metal, but just heavier. The guitars are distorted, a little bit more distorted than Steve Howe's guitar sound on the original Yes, And everybody's just on fire on this record. Like, I really want to do like Hearts and this together with Alexia, because I don't want her to miss this. And we'll do it. We'll do it like in a little like two for one, for the channel, just to please you guys, and because I just want to see that smile on her face. Alexia is gonna really like this, but here, so Trevor on the guitar is just, I think, I don't want to, Steve Howe is a genius. Steve Howe is a master. But I saw Steve Howe, and Yes, we saw Yes with Steve Howe, that because he carries the Yes name, and it was just like, it wasn't as good, and he was just like hushing people, and he was being just like a little bit like an ass. And Alexia was so disappointed. She was like heartbroken, and John Anderson wasn't there. There was some like, he was the only guy from Yes. And, they're all kind of like, it's like a cover band with Steve Howe. So, yes, you could say the same thing with John Anderson, but John Anderson, at least it feels like Yes, because it's the voice of Yes. And these guys were playing exactly like the CD, So we really had like a better experience with John Anderson and the Band Geeks. But yeah, Trevor here on the guitar, he's just very, very good. He really injected like a different style into the, into the band. And Alan White, great on drums, and Chris. So these three, key elements of Yes. And then Tony K, great keyboards. I don't know, like when it comes to, because this is not as virtuoso, this is not Rick Wakeman style of playing. So it's just a different, I guess, style of playing the keyboards, but I'm sure he can pull off Rick Wakeman. I hope so. But this is just a great iteration of Yes. And yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart is such a, it really put the band like on the map for just everyone, not just the prog lovers. Like everybody loves this song. So I think it's a great album, and even though John Anderson was making fun of this album, like calling it almost like a version of, Spinal Tap, Spinal Tap, the movie, like that's how he felt. He's like, that's how he felt in 1983 when we recorded this, like Spinal Tap. And I don't know, maybe he thinks, it doesn't hold up to his earlier stuff, and maybe it doesn't, if you compare it with, just their masterpieces, but I don't know. I really like this. I really like it. And I can assure you we're going to make these two songs. It's just, 15 minutes. And we're probably going to turn it into a 35-minute video. But hey, that's what we do. So this was just fantastic. I love all the progginess that's going on. I love, John Anderson's voice here. I love the harmonizing with Chris. It's just great. Like, it's just a great song. It's a great album, honestly. And yeah, I know a lot of people, this was like the end of Yes. This was maybe their last, the last straw. Because they did change, a lot with this. But hey, I love it. So there we go. I mean, they even call it new wave. Isn't that crazy? I mean, prog rock, progressive pop. Wow. They're really like pushing it there, huh? Okay, so this man obviously is a genius here, Todd Rundgren. Love everything I've ever heard. I haven't done a deep dive because the channel kind of like, yeah, it's complicated because when you do reactions, you don't want to be just like listening to everything, because then you're like, well, I already heard all this stuff, so we're taking it, slowly. But here it goes. This is from A Wizard, a True Star. Let's see, from 1972. Wow, the cover is so cool. And it's called literally When the Shit Hits the Fan. I love that there was an actual, of course you've seen the movie Airplane. This is actually a movie that's like an older movie that I don't know if Alexia's seen it, but I've seen it because it was just recommended to me, because I used to love like silly comedy, and there's literally a scene where you see like this piece of it's literally a piece of poo hitting the fan. It's so funny. I mean, it's like really funny because the stuff they would come up with in that movie was just all very silly stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've seen Airplane and the sequel, and just those types of movies. There was another one with like World War II. I think Val Kilmer, Top Secret. Very, very funny stuff. Just hilarious. Like just stupid stuff, but it's just really good. All right. So that's because of the title. So here we go with the music. Let's check it out. All right. I'm like talking way too much, right, for some people. Also, another thing that I'm going to mention after the song. I hope I remember. So good. So good.
Cruising down a mountain highway, and someone got the brakes on my car. But when the shit hits the fan, I know I got to get my ass back there.
And it was cut. That's what happens sometimes. It just does. Man, the creativity on this track is just insane. I love his vocals, the way he kind of like, he almost does it on purpose. I mean, I'm sure he does it on purpose. Just this bizarre way of singing. It's wacky. I love the keyboard. Just the sound of the keyboard is so original. It's so different. It has like this chaotic feel to it. You know, I heard a little bit of the Beatles there. You know, that bum 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 bum. I don't know. I might be wrong. But this is just like sheer creativity outpour. You know, it's just like, this is what I came up with. Here you go. If you like it, amazing. If you don't, hey, I don't care. And that's what I wanted to say as well. So as you guys know, like the people that really follow us, that watch every video, we do a lot of goofing around, and we drum and we play, and I think that's part of a reaction. And because we just had like this really just mean comment, you know, and I usually don't talk about comments, but I just wanted to talk about it because it's like, I was like, so like, wow, this person must be, I don't know what world he lives in, but he was like, oh, I can't stand it when you guys do your air guitars, and it's so cringe, and it's just like I can't stand it. Like, honestly, I like, if you're watching this video, I'm sure he's not, because thank God he like, even Steven came to my defense, because I was like, hey, you know, we are musicians, you know. I mean, I'm not a great drummer, and Alexia, she has played the drums maybe 3 times in her life, but hey, you know, it's all about, that's the reaction, you know, like you hear music and yeah, you drum along, you know, you drive your car, you know, you drum along. You know, I mean, any person who listens to music in that way, you know, I've never seen a person who doesn't do like air guitar. Everyone, even people that don't play instruments. So just that comment was so bizarre. And I told him, you know what, just move on. Just watch another channel. I don't know what a reaction video is. Like, if you don't feel the music, and especially when you're a musician, and I play the guitar, and I play the bass, and I play the piano, and I play almost all instruments, but I don't play the wind instruments because I wish I could. But, you know, it's just a reaction to when you're listening to music. It just feels great to kind of jam along, you know. So this person was just miserable. Like he's like, I can't stand when you do it. It looks stupid. And like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for you, and if you feel that way, because even musicians that are literally like famous, when we went to see Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and Metallica, we saw James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett because we were almost in the on the before the stage. They were standing there. They were doing this like that, air guitar playing to Judas Priest. I mean, if they do it, imagine. You see, so I had to tell this person, I think you have never played an instrument, and when you listen to music, you feel it and you want to participate, So that's why I'm never going to stop doing it. And we even put it in the description of the channel years ago. We love to air guitar. We love to play along, drum along. It's the most beautiful thing to see when I see Alexia going for the solo, that is just like, that makes my day, So it's just like, I wanted to talk about that for a second. I know it has nothing to do with the marathon or the music, but it's just a sad display of someone who just doesn't get it. I think it's really sad because right now I'm also doing a lot of air guitar. I love because when I hear chords, I kind of have my own way where I would go, right? Improvise. And sometimes it really like kind of almost matches up because we think alike. A lot of people, we think alike, musicians. Maybe with jazz, it's a little bit more advanced, but also you hear a chord and you kind of see the possibilities where you could go. You hear the possibilities in your head. It's instant, right? That's why it's such a beautiful thing to play. And is it rock? Is it fusion? Whatever. It doesn't matter. But you hear chords and you're like, that's what I would do. And sometimes that's what we do, I guess. So we play along when we do our little thing, and sometimes it matches. And I've even heard stuff like, oh my God, I thought you've never heard this before. Why do you know the guitar? But I don't know the guitar. It's just that I kind of like do my own thing and it just happened to match, the movement or whatever. So Matteo Mancuso is this, I think he's from Milan. And he's just this genius on the guitar. And he's, I think he's in his 20s still, or maybe early 30s, but he's just a master. And he's just at a level where people like that are in their, like, they've played their entire lives and they see this kid and they're like, wow, like, where's this guy been and how did he get so good? And it's just one of those things, I think it's just guitar evolution. And I think this kid just, had all the resources of all these amazing players and just took advantage, and he has just this really difficult, technique, the finger style, which is ridiculous because, I mean, he does everything that a pick does, like sweeping, and he plays legato. Obviously, that's with the left hand, but he just he plays like a flamenco player, but electric guitar, which is, I've never seen it. I've never seen anybody else do it. I think he's pretty unique, and also that gives him a very unique sound because it has all the legato. He doesn't have that sound of the pick. So let's check him out here. This is from from The Journey, from his album The Journey, and this is called Silkroad, Matteo Mancuso. And if you want to check him out, he has been, on Rick Beato, and he's all over YouTube. He's just an amazing musician. So let's check it out. Again, thank you so much, Gary. I'm a huge Holsworth fan, and I just sent you some stuff yesterday with the syntax, and you're like, how does he have a syntax? Now, that guy, he's obsessed. The obsession is real. I bought a book that he made with all solos of Alan Holdsworth, transcribed all of the solos, all the fast parts. The slow parts are not. he's like, hey, use your ear, because that's how you should do it. But but then the fast parts that I like, where you like, what happened, where you would rewind or like play it slow with some kind of like software or a tape player or something to slow it down. He transcribed all those parts of all albums. So it's like, it took him like 5 years to do or so, or more. I don't know. But check it out. All right, I had to take a call, and it was Alexia, of course. So, Matteo Mancuso, 28 years old, from Palermo, Sicily. And yes, I mean, what is so crazy here is like when you pull up his, just his name, is people also search for Guthrie, Guthrie Govan, Aldi Meola. And, it's just like he already is in that league, at 28 years old. And I mean, he's been playing like this since he was like a teenager, This is like just a level of, I mean, obviously the talent is there, but also the dedication. And he is already, a jazz fusion master, and he plays prog rock, and he can pretty much play anything, So let's check him out, and this is gonna be amazing. I'm sure it's gonna blow me away. All right, here we go. Silkroad. what a what a prodigy of a player. Like what a amazing musician. And I mean, obviously I've seen some other players um who were, but he was already doing this stuff when he was 12, so because we've seen other players that are very young, of course, but this guy, and this is really, and the description here on Wikipedia is a little bit, it's not that, there's not a lot of information. I love that they talk about Steve Vai and Al Di Meola because he's performed with them, of course. Jordan Rudess of Dream Theater, and then he has like this band called Snips, which I've seen. That's the first time I saw him. The Matteo Mancuso trio, but it only talks about like Al Di Meola, Steve Vai, Joe Bonamassa, Tosina Bazzi, who is amazing. But I mean, you can obviously hear that he has a lot of Holdsworth in his style, just the way, he plays legato. I think that should be mentioned. Greg Howe, I can hear it. I can hear Greg Howe in his playing. Guthrie, like I can't believe they don't talk about Guthrie Govan here in this article on the Wikipedia, because I know he's obviously influenced by them and everybody. I mean, I'm sure he is a fan of Yngwie Malmsteen and Joe Pass, and there's just I mean, they're not mentioning Pat Metheny, who's like obviously an inspiration, just the guitar he uses, so it's just like, it's a little bit on the limited side here, but it's also he's also very young. I just it's very difficult, the music business is very, very difficult, especially when you have a genre like this, because a lot of people don't understand this music. It's like, what is he doing with all this? But it's like just like a way of expression that is just beyond just playing normal blues guitar or rock. I mean, those bends he was doing, I love his tone on the guitar, the use of the whammy bar, the bends, the vibrato he does, just everything. And then when he plays really licks that are like, wow, okay, I can kind of like imagine what he's doing. Like he's maybe doing some tapping there, like arpeggios with tapping and stuff, but it's like mind-bending stuff, the fast he plays, because sometimes it's like you can only play as fast as the fast but that was just for me, like because you obviously can play faster when you play legato, it is all in the left hand. You don't really have to pick every note, and there's a lot of guitar players you can only play as fast as the fast as you pick. I mean, you can pick as fast, like when you do this, like this. I don't think you can do it as fast. So he plays a lot of legato with his, like this hammer on from nowhere. It's called this technique where you hammer on the notes. So the left hand is basically doing like all the work, because this is just like, he's just like gracing the strings, he's not really playing every note with his fingers. So just the sheer speed he has with his left hand playing that legato, it reminds me a lot of like Holdsworth, because he also didn't pick all the notes. So yeah, it's just a thing, when you talk like between guitar players, and I just wish him so much success because he really deserves it. I'm really happy to read here that he got, a scholarship at Berklee. That's amazing. All the Dream Theater guys are from Berklee, except Jordan Rudess, who was a Juilliard musician. But yeah, I mean, this guy, it makes me proud to be, I'm 50% Italian, literally 50% when I got my DNA results back. And yeah, I'm really proud of my heritage. And yeah, and I'm proud that he's Italian, He's really one of the best players in the world, So, and so yeah, I have lots of family in Italy that I unfortunately don't really know. I was just too small. But there's a lot of people in Italy that are my family that I'm related to. And but yeah, maybe one day, we'll move there or something. I always tell Alexia, one day we'll rejoin with the familia. Okay, so this band is really like just an amazing discovery. 10cc, they're just ridiculous. I mean, they're so good. Everything I've ever heard of these guys do blows my mind. And so this is going to be from their. I want to see what we've heard from this album. Okay, it looks like we haven't heard anything from this album. So this is the self-titled. We've done some more popular stuff. Let me see, like One Night in Paris. I'm Not in Love, of course. Let's see. So we did pretty much. I think we did the full album. The original soundtrack. But this here, the 10cc self-titled, we have not touched. So let me see when was this, because it says 2007. I don't believe that's correct. Let's check it out. 73. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Spotify just loves to, I guess they give you the date of the remaster, but they should kind of like stick to the date that was actually released, All right, here we go with Rubber Bullets, 10cc. Let's check it out.
Sergeant Baker started talking with a bullhorn in his hand. He was cool, he was clear, he was always in command. He said, blood will flow here, Padre, Padre, you talk to your boys. Trust in me. God will come to set you free.
Well, we don't understand why you called in the National Guard.
The National Guard.
When Uncle Sam is the one who belongs in the exercise yard.
The exercise yard.
We all got balls and brains. My son's got balls and chains. At the local dance, at the local county jail. Load up, load up, load up. We rub the bullets. Load up, load up, load up. We rub the bullets.
Is it really such a crime for a guy to spend his time?
At the local dance, at the local county jail. At the local dance, at the local county jail.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do?
All right, man. Okay, so I looked up some facts and some stuff. So first of all, I love the song. Very popular. I didn't know that this has let me see. It says this was a #1 hit, Rubber Bullets, which also topped in the charts in Australia and all this good stuff. So I had no idea. And this is from their first album. So art rock, pop rock, glam rock. And there's some facts here. So for example, this song to me sounded very much like the Beatles, but more like the Beach Boys for some reason. Something about it. I think, that those two voices. And then the solo is like, what is that? What is he doing? And I looked it up, and of course it's what I thought he had done. It's sped up. It's sped up, and that's why it sounds a little bit, I guess the pitch is just like almost like an octave higher. Like it's an unreal sound, It sounded very like he's either using a super weird like fuzz there, but what happened is it says here, and what I like that it says because 10cc, we love to experiment. We used to love to waste time, and having a beauty of having our own studio. We didn't have a clock in there, so we weren't restricted. Imagine that at that time that you're not on like, oh my God, okay, we have to do this, and we have like 5 days, every second counts. No, they just did it, and they had the time to do it. That is the way you record, with no pressure. But what it says here, it says that's a double track solo. It's a very, very, it is very, very high, of course, going through a Marshall stack. Then I slowed the tape to half speed, 7.5 inches per second, and recorded it. It says, going, and it says playing singles, picked notes slowly. When you speed it back up, you've got an octave up, exactly. And there's a screaming buzz on the top of it. That's an octave higher. So that's why it sounds so, very like almost caricature, like, the guitar. I used to do that as well, because I remember when I would come up with scales and like different like patterns, like da 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 da. You know, I wanted to hear how it sounded fast, but in one, like, not just like a triad. I wanted to hear the whole thing, like, you know, like that. So I would, I remember my dad had like this voice recorder, and I don't know why. You could just like press a button and then you could hear like. So I was like, oh my God, that is amazing for the guitar. I'm just gonna record myself, and then I can hear how it actually sounds fast. And my friend and I, Hugo, we basically started to play guitar on the same day. And we were obviously obsessed with guitar players like Yngwie Malmsteen and stuff like that, Steve Vai. And we wanted to hear how we sound playing fast, you know, so we'd play different shapes and arpeggios or the pentatonic scale and different variations and stuff. And then we would get a sense of what it would actually sound like if we practice enough to get that at speed. So it was really kind of like almost like, okay, I'm going to do this now. Like, I want to get to this speed. And that's how we got better. You know, we really pushed ourselves because we could hear how we would sound if we put in the time and the work, you know. So this was great, man. I dozed off a little bit with the lyrics because I was just paying attention to the rhythm and the music, and just so I didn't pay a lot of attention to the lyrics. I did pull them up then because there was some controversy here that the song was banned during the Gulf War. I guess because of rubber bullets, because they're talking about you know, weapons and stuff, but it was more about the whole jail thing. So I did kind of like I said, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the lyrics. I'm sorry about that, but I'm just super sometimes just the music is enough, you know, and the lyrics are just like secondary, because the lyrics and the just singing is another instrument for me. So, but yeah, I know sometimes lyrics are very, very important, but hey, you know, again, thank you so much, Gary, for this amazing marathon. Lots of good stuff. Little Feat, yes. Todd Rundgren, Matteo Mancuso, and then 10cc. Please, if you like this marathon, give it a like. Give a thanks to Gary, of course. You know, I always love that when you guys do that. You kind of like, you know, hey, good job. You know, I love that because, yeah, it's just the community is very nice. You know, I really love reading the comment section, how you guys interact with each other. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could just all meet one day, you know? At least the people that are just like very, very invested in this channel, you know, that would be so cool. At least like 10, 15, 20 people, you know, the diehards, you know, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, we can, at least we can dream about it, right? Again, thank you so much, Gary. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. Let me know in the comment section if you liked the video. Give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.